Let's talk about liver function tests. Let me tell you, liver function test is a very big topic, but we are going to discuss in very brief in this video about these tests. So what are the functions of the liver that we can actually assess on the basis of these tests? So liver has various functions, but mainly what we can assess, they are synthetic function of the liver. Number 2, we can assess the excretory function of the liver. Number 3, we can assess for any cholestasis that is happening in the body. And most importantly, we can assess the liver cell damage or any cellular change that might be happening inside the liver. So, what are the tests by which we can assess the synthetic function of the liver? They are serum albumin, then prothrombin time, and APTT or activated partial thromboplastin time. So, albumin is synthesized by liver. The normal value of serum albumin in a healthy individual is about 3.5 to 5.5 grams per deciliter, or it can be put like this way, 35 to 55 gram per liter. These values, they vary from lab to lab. The value of the albumin gets lowered when the synthetic function of the liver is impaired, as in case of cirrhosis. In case of liver cirrhosis, there is loss of viable functioning liver cells, which leads to impaired synthesis of this albumin. Thus, in cirrhosis, the value of albumin goes down. The next parameter, that is prothrombin time, it is usually between 10 to 14 seconds, and it is prolonged in case of cholestasis and hepatocellular damage. And normal value of APTT is usually 30 to 40 seconds. It is also prolonged in case of cholestasis and hepatocellular damage. In case of cholestasis and hepatocellular damage, there is reduced production of the clotting factors by the liver, which causes prolonged duration of clotting of blood, which results in increased value of PT and APTT. Apart from these two, there is another parameter which is known as INR, that is international normalized ratio, that is also used for assessing the risk of bleeding in case of liver damage. Normal value of INR is usually 0.8 to 1.1. This ratio is actually calculated by dividing the patient's prothrombin time by a control prothrombin time, which has been standardized by the WHO for the potency of thromboplastin reagent. A high value of INR, that means your blood coagulates too slowly or the bleeding risk is much more, whereas a low INR means your blood is not thin enough or coagulates too easily and puts you at risk of developing a blood clot. Now, to assess the excretory functions of the liver, we measure bilirubin. Basically, bilirubin we measure as total serum bilirubin. Then we divide it into conjugated bilirubin, and we can measure unconjugated bilirubin separately. Now they have very much diagnostic value. Let's see. Now the value of total serum bilirubin normally is below 1.5 milligram per deciliter, but usually for under 18 years of age, it is considered to be normal when it is under 1 milligram per deciliter. Normal conjugated bilirubin level is less than 0.3 milligram per deciliter, and normal unconjugated or indirect bilirubin level is about 0.2 to 1.2 milligram per deciliter. Now let's see in which conditions this conjugated bilirubin will be more and unconjugated bilirubin will be more. Conjugated bilirubin is usually increased when there is failure of excretion. So in case of Dubin-Johnson syndrome, Rotter syndrome, in case of any kind of hepatocellular damage, like in case of viral hepatitis, cirrhosis, and cholestasis, in these conditions you can see increase in the level of conjugated bilirubin. Unconjugated bilirubinemia is seen when there is increase in production of bilirubin, like due to hemolysis or due to failure of transport or maybe due to Gilbert's syndrome, Crigler-Najjar syndrome. So these are the causes of unconjugated bilirubinemia. Now about the assessment of cholestasis. We can assess alkaline phosphatase levels in the serum to assess any kind of cholestasis. Normal levels of alkaline phosphatase is 30 to 110 international unit per liter. It is usually raised in case of cholestasis, in case of hepatic metastasis, hepatitis, alcoholic cirrhosis, and primary biliary cirrhosis. In these cases, ALP will be raised. Now, how we can assess the liver cell damage? So for that, we have GGT, AST, and ALT. Normal value of GGT is 0 to 65 international unit per liter. For AST and ALT, it is almost 5 to 40 international units per liter. Now where this GGT is raised? It is raised in case of acute alcohol intake, and if there is any cholestasis, GGT might be increased. AST and ALT, they are raised in cholestasis, in case of viral or drug induced hepatitis, if there is any malignancy or malignant liver disease, in case of infectious mononucleosis, these enzymes are raised. Now one important fact, if you make a ratio of this ALT is to AST and it is found to be more than 1, the cause of this rise in this parameter of these enzymes is most probably due to viral etiology, if it is more than 1. And if you take the ratio of AST into ALT and if it is more than 1, then it suggests alcoholic liver disease. Parameter that we can look for is alpha fetoprotein or AFP. Now this alpha fetoprotein level normally is below 20 nanogram per ml. This alpha fetoprotein level is increased in some deadly conditions like carcinoma of liver or in carcinoma of stomach, pancreas, gallbladder, carcinoma involving bile ducts, and lung cancer. These carcinomas can cause rise in alpha fetoprotein level. If a patient is having cirrhosis of liver, then also this alpha fetoprotein level can rise. If a patient is having chronic active hepatitis, that might also lead to rise in this alpha fetoprotein titer. And also in pregnancy, normally this AFP level is increased. So this is all about liver function tests in brief, and for detailed analysis of these tests, you have to follow the channel, and more videos are coming up on these diagnostics of liver function tests. Thank you for watching.